Welcome back to Warriors Inside the Heartbeat of Dub Nation. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into one of the biggest preseason talking points, Steve Kerr's brutally honest reaction to the Warriors' starting lineup after that comeback win against the Portland Trail Blazers. Yeah, you heard that right, a win that didn't really feel like a win at first. This was the much-anticipated debut of the new projected starting five: Stephen Curry, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. A veteran lineup with shooting, defense, and championship DNA, but also a lineup that, honestly, looked shaky from the jump. We're breaking it all down: what went wrong early, how the bench saved the night, and what this tells us about the Warriors' future heading into the season opener. Game recap: Warriors 129, Blazers 123. So let's set the scene. Preseason. The Chase Center is buzzing. Dub Nation is hyped to see Butler and Horford in Warriors jerseys for the first time. The Blazers, young, energetic, hungry. Tip-off happens and boom, Portland comes out swinging. They drop 39 points in the opening quarter. The Warriors? Flat. No energy. No rhythm. Every starter finished that first quarter with a negative plus-minus. Curry tried to get something going with a quick three, but the spacing wasn't clean. Horford missed his first 4 shots. Moody was being tested on defense by Shaedon Sharpe, who looked locked in. Butler was the only one showing some fire, getting to the free throw line, pushing the tempo, barking out orders. At halftime, the Warriors were down by double digits. But this is Golden State. The second half was a different story. The bench unit came alive. High energy, quick ball movement, better defense. Portland's young core suddenly looked a little overwhelmed. Final score, 129-123. A comeback win, but one that left fans with more questions than answers. Post-game, Steve Kerr didn't sugarcoat a thing. He said, quote, "I didn't think we were ready to play." That's coming from a 4-time championship coach who's seen everything. He looked frustrated, not because of the final score, but because of how this team started the game. He talked about spacing issues, careless turnovers, lack of focus, lack of energy. He basically said, yeah, we won, but don't let that fool you, we're nowhere near where we need to be. And honestly, I respect it. Preseason isn't about wins. It's about building habits, and Kerr knows bad habits early can cost you later. Starting lineup performance breakdown. Let's go player by player. Stephen Curry, 11 points, 3 assists in 15 minutes. He looked fine individually, hit a few threes, made some nice reads. But his impact was muted because of poor spacing. Every time he came off a screen, Portland's defense loaded up. Jimmy Butler, this was Jimmy being Jimmy. 12 points, half of those from the line, plus some leadership energy. His defense was decent, but it's clear he's still finding his role in this new system. He's not trying to be the number one scorer, he's trying to be the connector. Moses Moody, 10 points, -10. Kerr gave him a big assignment, point of attack defense, filling the Andrew Wiggins role. It wasn't pretty early. He got beat off the dribble multiple times, but he's still young and learning. Draymond Green, 9 points, -5. He looked rusty. Not bad, but not the emotional engine we usually see. Expect that to pick up once the real games begin. Al Horford, 0 for 4 shooting, -1. But let's be fair, it's preseason. Horford's value is more in positioning, leadership, and floor spacing. His timing with Curry pick-and-rolls will improve. Bottom line, this lineup didn't click yet. They looked like 5 great players still trying to figure out how to be one great team. Defense and energy issues. The biggest problem? Defense. Kerr put Moody in the starting lineup hoping to shore up the perimeter D after Gabe Vincent exposed them in the last game. But tonight it was Shaedon Sharpe, 22 points, 9 for 15 shooting. The Blazers attacked the Warriors early, and they had no answer. The rotations were slow. The communication was off. And the energy just wasn't there. Kerr said it clearly, they took it to us right away. That's coach speak for we got punched in the mouth early. This is what preseason is for, to identify the weak spots. But man, that first quarter was a wake-up call. Bench impact, young guns step up. Now let's give flowers to the bench. They flipped this game on its head. Guys like Brandon Podziemski came in with pace and confidence. The ball moved, the defense tightened up, and the whole vibe changed. They erased a 17-point deficit and turned the energy in the building around. This is why depth matters. Kerr might have some tough rotation decisions to make if the bench keeps outperforming the starters. Season outlook, big picture talk. So what does this all mean for the season? It means this lineup is still a work in progress. You don't just plug in Butler and Horford and expect everything to be perfect on night one. Kerr's going to spend the next few weeks experimenting with rotations, figuring out who closes games, how to balance shooting and defense, and who steps into that Wiggins-like perimeter stopper role. The good news? It's early. The vets played 15 minutes. The Warriors have 3 more preseason games before opening night against the Los Angeles Lakers. There's always been Bam Adebayo, the heartbeat of the team's defense and energy. 2 finals appearances in 5 years. 2 Olympic gold medals. And countless moments where Bam's hustle, strength, and versatility made the difference. Adebayo isn't just another big man. He's a two-way force, a center who defends guards, switches on pick and rolls, makes plays from the high post, and brings the kind of intensity that wins championships. And that's exactly what the Warriors are missing. After another frustrating season where the Warriors' defense crumbled and their rebounding disappeared, Steve Kerr and the front office know something has to change. Draymond Green can't do it all anymore. Kevin Looney, while solid, can't carry the rim protection load in big moments. And let's be honest, they've been searching for a new defensive anchor since the fall of their dynasty years. That's why, according to multiple reports, Golden State is monitoring Adebayo's situation closely. As one insider put it, Bam Adebayo is another all-star in the East who would be at the top of the Warriors' list of potential trade targets, if he were to ever request a trade. Now let's talk basketball IQ. Because Bam Adebayo isn't just muscle, he's brain and timing. Steve Kerr's system is built on ball movement, cutting, and reads. Players who can pass, set screens, and make smart decisions from the high post thrive. Remember how Draymond revolutionized that role years ago? Now imagine a younger, more athletic, more versatile version. That's Bam. He can handle the ball, create plays, and make those quick short roll passes that unlock the Warriors' offense. And the scary part? He doesn't even need to score 20 a night to dominate. One thing people forget, Bam already knows how to play with Steph Curry. They shared the floor with Team USA, building chemistry in practices and tournaments. Curry has publicly praised Bam's leadership and defensive presence, and it's clear there's mutual respect. Picture it. Curry dancing off ball. Klay Thompson finding his rhythm. Draymond and Bam locking down on defense like twin walls. It's not fantasy, it's potential reality. Now here's where things get tricky. What could the Warriors possibly offer for a player like Adebayo? The obvious answer: Jonathan Kuminga. The 21-year-old forward has been in countless trade rumors, and his contract negotiations have already raised eyebrows in the Bay Area. Kuminga's athleticism and youth make him valuable. Add a few first-round picks, and maybe a role player like Moses Moody or Andrew Wiggins, and you've got a tempting package. But here's the catch: would Pat Riley even consider it? Pat Riley, the godfather of the Heat, doesn't move stars easily. He believes in loyalty and in the culture he's built in Miami. But he's also a ruthless businessman. If the Heat starts slipping, if it becomes clear that Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo can't carry the franchise back to the finals, Riley could shock the league again. He's done it before. And if the Warriors offer future assets that could accelerate a rebuild, Riley might just pick up that phone. Still, he won't make it easy. Inside the Warriors' locker room, the idea of adding Bam would send waves of excitement. Curry knows time is running out on his prime. Klay is fighting to prove he still belongs. Draymond wants one last shot at redemption. Bam brings new life, fresh energy. He's young enough to carry the team into the next era, but experienced enough to fit into their winning culture. Even Steve Kerr would likely tweak the offense, giving Bam the Draymond-style role while freeing Green to focus more on leadership and defense. This move could turn Golden State from playoff hopeful back into title contender. Fans are already buzzing. On social media, you can see the split. Some fans love it, calling Bam the missing piece. Others worry about giving up Kuminga, a player with sky-high potential. But everyone agrees if this trade happens, the NBA landscape changes overnight. Meanwhile, Heat fans are anxious. Losing Bam would mean rebuilding, possibly around Tyler Herro and draft picks. So what's next? Right now, Golden State is watching quietly. They're not rushing, they know the season is long and trade windows always open. If Miami struggles early, or if Adebayo starts questioning his future, expect the Warriors to make a serious move. And with Steph Curry's legacy still writing itself, the front office won't hesitate to make a blockbuster trade that gives him one last shot at glory. Because if there's one thing we've learned, never, ever count out the Golden State Warriors. Fire Bam Adebayo to the Bay? It sounds crazy now. But remember, every dynasty has a new chapter waiting to be written. The Warriors' locker room feels calmer, more disciplined. The energy is different, mature, but still hungry. You could see it even in limited minutes. When Curry dribbled off screens, Horford knew exactly where to stand. When Green set a pick, Butler slid into position without needing a cue. It was instinctual. This is what separates the Warriors from most teams, chemistry that transcends age. These are veterans who've been through wars, who understand rhythm and trust. And as preseason continues, the coaching staff believes that chemistry will translate into real wins. There's no panic. No rush. Just focus. In the locker room, players talked about the excitement of blending old-school IQ with new blood. Kuminga, Podziemski, and Melton all mention how valuable it is to play alongside such legends. This mentorship dynamic could define the Warriors' season. Golden State isn't just chasing another playoff berth, they're chasing respect. After being written off multiple times, the Warriors are quietly rebuilding their identity. No more small ball without size. No more defensive collapses in the paint. Horford changes all that. He brings height, shot blocking, and leadership. And if he stays healthy, he could be the missing piece in one final title run. But it won't be easy. The Western Conference is loaded: Luka Doncic's Mavericks, Anthony Edwards' Timberwolves, Jokic's Nuggets, and the ever-dangerous Lakers. To win, the Warriors will need to balance minutes, manage egos, and trust the process. Steve Kerr knows that. Curry knows that. And now, Al Horford knows what it means to wear the blue and gold. As the game ended and the crowd cheered, one thing was clear: this team isn't done. They're older, wiser, and maybe slower. But their heart? Still pure gold. For fans, Al Horford's debut wasn't just about numbers. It was about belief. That maybe, just maybe, the Warriors have one more magical run left in them. Stephen Curry walked off the court smiling, towel over his shoulder, waving to the fans who've been with him through everything. The message was clear: we're not finished yet. Because as long as Curry is still shooting, Draymond is still fighting, Butler is still leading, and Horford is still blocking shots, the Golden State Warriors are still dangerous. Breaking news out of the NBA, and it's huge for the Golden State Warriors. The league has officially introduced 2 new foul rules for the 2025-26 season, and guess what? They might change the game, especially for Stephen Curry. The first rule, the high five rule. From now on, defenders can't hit a shooter's hand during the shooting motion, not even a little touch. The second rule, the delayed contact rule. If a player is hit after releasing the ball even a full second later, it still counts as a foul. That's right, contact after the release is no longer ignored. And for someone like Steph Curry, the master of high-arching, quick-release jumpers, these new rules could open the floodgates. Steve Kerr, the mastermind behind Golden State's dynasty, spoke about it immediately. He said, "The biggest one is the high five rule. Defenders were literally high-fiving shooters after the release. That's no longer allowed. For years, Curry and other shooters have been slapped, tapped, and brushed on the follow-through no call. But now, that's a foul. It means defenders can't crowd the arc as tightly as before. And that means more space for shooters. More freedom for Steph. More buckets. Curry has always played under immense pressure. Traps, doubles, blitzes, body contact, all designed to slow him down. Now, with stricter foul protection, defenders will have to think twice before reaching or touching. This isn't just a small tweak. It's a shift in the balance of power favoring skill, touch, and precision. Let's be honest, no one benefits more than Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter the league has ever seen. His release is lightning fast. His follow-through? Legendary. Now imagine Curry shooting knowing the refs are protecting his hands and wrists. He can extend his motion fully, finish naturally, and trust that contact won't go uncalled. Expect Curry's free throw attempts to rise. Expect his three-point percentage to climb. Expect his confidence already off the charts to become untouchable. And for the Warriors' offense, that's a nightmare for every defense in the league. The spacing improves. The rhythm returns. The Warriors' motion system, the one built on timing, cuts, and ball movement, just got turbocharged. Steve Kerr said it best. Protecting shooters is the theme. And nobody deserves that more than Steph. But it's not just Curry. These new rules could reshape the way Golden State plays basketball. Klay Thompson, another elite shooter, gets extra room to land. Moses Moody, young, athletic, and growing into his role, can finally take fearless jumpers. Even rookies like Podziemski benefit, learning to shoot without worrying about wrist contact. Defenders will back off slightly. That half step of space is everything for Golden State's offense. The ball will move faster. Screens will hit harder. And when Curry and Klay start raining threes again, the Chase Center might explode. Now let's switch gears to something lighter. Over the offseason, Moses Moody went viral for a hilarious reason. He was back home in Little Rock, Arkansas, playing pickup basketball at a local park.